Hey, this is Russell. Welcome back to my house. I'm excited to be working on day number 2 with you guys today. And today is where we get to actually get our hands dirty. We are going to build our very first lead magnet. And as you can tell, I'm pretty excited and pretty obsessed with Onepager. It is the thing that I'm using to create all my lead magnets now. And so I'm going to teach you guys how to use it. And the coolest thing about it is yesterday when you guys saved your Onepager that I gave you guys, the cool thing is that it creates a free account for it and you can save as many Onepagers as you want, but it also lets you create your first Onepager for free, which is pretty cool because that means you can create one and not to pay anything. And then if you like it, then you can use it a ton in the future. And that's kind of how it works. So before we jump too much into that, I want to kind of walk you guys through this Onepager again. Okay. So this is the Onepager for today. And the coolest thing is, as soon as you start typing anything, it'll automatically save it into your account. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at this and say, okay, here's the strategy that Russell mapped out today during the live training, right? Here you can get your free Onepager account. And then down here, I want you to start actually brainstorming, right? Okay, we talked about this stuff. Now don't just like, oh yeah, I know that things. Like stop and think, spend 15, 20, 30 minutes and think about this. Like who is your dream customer, right? And come in here and think about like, okay, who is my dream customer? Well, it's someone who blah, 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 and like fill that out, right? And what is the ultimate result, okay? So for me, okay, so I'll do mine real quick. So my dream customer, it's small, or it's entrepreneurs, E-N-T-R. Of course, I had to spell the hardest word in the world on this. It's entrepreneurs, who have a mission to change the world. Okay, what's the ultimate result? I want to grow their companies online with sales funnels. Okay, and what are the core results that you can offer? So the ultimate result is a big thing, right? So the core result, well, there's a lot of core results. So I could help them drive traffic. I could help them to do a book funnel. I could do whatever. But for this example, I'm going to do, I can help them with a webinar funnel. That's a big core result I could give them. Okay. And from the core result, a lot of things. Okay. Well, what could I do? Well, I could help them write the webinar. I could help them to drive traffic to the webinar. I could help them like what are all of the splinter results and frameworks that are possible. Okay. So I'm gonna list these out. Okay. So I could drive traffic. I could write the webinar pitch. We could get people to actually show up on the webinar, right? I could get people, anyway, so list all the things I can think of, right? And then I'm gonna pick one. Okay, what's the one framework I'm gonna do? So for this example, I'm gonna pick how to get people to actually show up to a webinar, right? Like it's one splinter result that I can give people that if they want that, it means they also want webinars, which means they also want to grow their company, which leads up to my ultimate result. So I'm gonna help people, the sub framework I'm gonna pick is to get people to actually show up for the webinar. Okay, so boom, I filled that out, right? And again, I would spend more time if I wasn't going live right now with you guys. That'd be the first thing. And the second thing now is like I think about how am I going to teach this? Okay, so like the first thing is how did I learn it? I earned it. Okay, well I learned I earned this because literally when GoToWebinar, the first webinar platform came out, I did over 100 webinars in a year. I spoke on hundreds of 100 a year. We built ClickFunnels from 0 to 100 million with webinars, etc. Right? And in that process, like we struggled. How do people show up, right? So there's a story how I learned it. What's the strategy? Okay, the strategy are there's a bunch of different things. There are things outside of the webinar that get people to show up, right? And what are those things? So I'm like, okay, number one, and this is where I kind of start mapping out my framework. Okay, number one is blah. Number two is blah. Number three, so these are the steps, right, that I take to get some of those results. So I list out, okay, here's the strategy. Let me explain to you. The first thing I do is this, second thing is, third thing is, fourth thing, okay? All right, now let me walk you through the tactics, okay? So number one, and I'm gonna go deeper, right? Okay, number one, here's the things you gotta do. Here's the first thing, the second thing, and here's what I talk about the tactics of number one, right? And then second, the tactics of number two, etc. Right? So here you're brainstorming out like how you're gonna actually teach this in your video, right? And then what's the case study? Okay, case study is I can show them my funnel hacking secrets webinar because that one did really good. Boom. So now I have all the stuff I need to go start like actually doing my framework. Okay. So now again, because I start typing stuff in here, it'll have already saved into my Onepager account. So I come back here and refresh, boom, there's day one and then there's day two. So you've got that now. You can go back, you can look at it, you can see it, you can get ideas over and over and over again from it, right? Okay, and again, here's the to-do list to make sure you do. So like, okay, I identified my dream customer, got that done. I decided my thing, boom, boom. Okay, now I gotta build my framework in Onepager. So that's the next step. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna actually open up my personal Onepager account because I am mildly obsessed. As you can see, I am in the process right now of every framework I teach, turning them into Onepagers, okay? Because Onepagers make things, it takes your framework from this conceptual to this very tangible thing. So that's why in 5-Day Lead Challenge, I built out every day of the training, I taught you guys the strategy of a framework, and then I gave you guys the Onepager with the tactics to go and implement it, right? In fact, right now you are sitting inside of Onepager. How weird is that? Or sitting inside of, one of these. Okay, One Funnel Way, I'm doing the same thing in One Funnel Way. We're going back through all of the trainings and I'm turning them into, taking these strategies and turning them into Onepagers. Same in the .com secrets book, expert, traffic, anyway, all these different things. So right now I'm gonna make one, I'm going to build a Onepager with you guys, and it's going to be showing people how to show up to a webinar. And I've done the work ahead of time to get ready so that it won't, you know, sit or watch me brainstorming for an hour or so. So I'm going to put it actually inside of Marketing Secrets. This is kind of where I'm going to be putting all of my frameworks that aren't tied to a book or to a product. There's kind of like some really cool ones. So I'm putting it in here. So I click on there. Now I'm going to create my very first Onepager. And again, you guys have the ability to create your first Onepager for free inside of Onepager. Just click on the button here to create your first Onepager. And you're gonna put in the name and the description. And so I pre-wrote all of these. You don't sit here and watch me type it. So there's the name, and then there's my description. So it's the 7 virtually unknown secrets to getting more people to show up to webinars and actually buy what you are selling. How many of you guys want that Onepager? All right, click on it. It's gonna create Onepager. And now I'm here inside of the Onepager, the actual editor. And there's so many cool things you can do inside of here. I'll just show you really briefly what happens. You come in here and this is your grid, and you can grab parts of the grid and say, okay, this part of the grid, I wanna throw in an image. And then over here, I wanna put in, let's say a to-do list. And so you start building it out like this. So I'll show you guys, I'll go into more detail in a minute, but I'm just gonna redraw these right now. That kind of deletes the stuff so I can start over from scratch. So when I first start, I like starting at the very beginning and kind of moving through the top things here just to design the page and get it looking perfect. So first thing, we click on design, and you see here you can change the color. So I want this color or this color. You can kind of flip through different background colors to find what color you like. Or if you want, you can also upload a background image. And if you click on here, there's pre-made background images you can find really quick. You can go into Unsplash and search and find a background image, or if you have your own, you can upload an image. And so I actually have my own. I'm gonna upload an image here, and I grabbed it down here ahead of time. I'm gonna throw it in here. And this kind of matches the branding that I have for the landing page and stuff. So you don't have to use a custom image. You can do whatever you want. But I'm gonna upload my background image. So it's there, and then I'm still gonna make mine kind of a red color because I think that looks really cool. So that's step number 1 on design. You can also click on fonts, change the fonts. You can update the grid. There's a bunch of other cool things you can do. I don't typically touch those, but you're able to if you want. I'm gonna click save because you always should save often. Next is explainer. I don't really typically do that too often. If you want, you click explainer here, and if you want, you can add a button that says more info, and it'll throw in a button there where you can add more stuff, and then click on that, it'll pop up. For this case, I'm not going to put anything in there. Cover image and video, you click here. And so if you want to put a video here, you can, just like the video you're watching right now. This is that's how I put this video in this Onepager. So I'm going to actually, I have a video preloaded and ready. So I'm going to grab this. And this is actually a video of me doing the training on this. So I did a 15-minute long webinar one time, teaching people how to show up to webinars. And so I plugged the video there. So now when they come to Onepager, they can watch the training and they get the Onepager down below, which is kind of cool. Okay, anything else in here? You can add other things if you want. I'm gonna skip that. And here's your author. So if you want to put your name in here, you can show your author and say, okay, my name is Russell Brunson. If you want to have a tagline, I'm gonna copy my little tagline here. Throw in your tagline. If you got a picture of yourself, let's see, got a little picture of my, boom, you can throw that in there. Now your name's in there, which looks kind of cool. If you want to update the title too, I'm gonna make this, I just like adding little things, make it look cool. Okay, so there's author, mobile. We'll come back to mobile later. So this is how this grid will show up on mobile, and SEO if you want to have a share file and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So I'm gonna click save. Okay, so there it is. There's the beginnings of my Onepager, which is already looking pretty cool, right? Okay, so the next thing is you start thinking about, okay, what is your framework, right? So for my framework, inside this presentation, I taught 7 different things. And you probably can't see them here, they're kind of small, but these were the 7 things I taught in my framework. And so I can do a lot of things. I can go and put each of these things in a section. I can add a checklist. I can add a notes section. I can do whatever I want. For right now, I'm just gonna make it simple. So I'm gonna come right here, take these first 4 boxes here. And again, I can do single input, multi-input. You can kind of play around and try all these. If you put them in there and you're like, oh, I don't like it, you don't stress out. You just click on the little gear and you can redraw it and start over. So for this one though, just to make this kind of fun, I'm gonna put a long input. Okay, so this is where people can put in their answers. So I'm gonna click on this now. Now I can edit it. Okay, so first I'm gonna put the title. You know, most of my frameworks start with the secret. So secret number 1, and then the thing that they learned about in the video is landing page curiosity. Boom. Okay, and then if I want to make it look cool, and click right here, and I can put a little color next to the thing. So I'm gonna make a little blue thing, and it just makes it look cool. And then their answer, I'm gonna, you know, I'm assuming they're gonna watch this video, and while they're watching it, they're gonna be brainstorming things down here below. So I'm gonna change your answer to brainstorming / notes. So they can put in their notes right there. And boom, I've got the very first block of my one pager done. Okay, now I'm gonna come over here and do secret number 2. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do a long input. And again, there's so many things you can do. This is just a very simple one I'm gonna be using. Change the color here to green. And the more you play with this, the more you guys will start loving, like, oh, I like the checklist, the to-do list, right? Okay, so I'm gonna call this one secret number 2. My subtitle, and then your answer, brainstorming / notes. So they can start brainstorming there. Click save. Over here, I'm gonna do something a little different. So I actually created, there's a PDF of this as well with a whole bunch of really cool things on it. So I wanna put the PDF in here. So what I do is I'm gonna actually put what I call a wrapper. So what they call a wrapper. So the wrapper's right here. And the wrapper basically is taking one of these blocks and putting it inside of a block. So right here, I'm gonna call the title, I'm gonna call it download the PDF. And then, let's see, here's kind of subtitles since they click on the image below. And I do this because right now there's not a button element here inside of Onepager. I'm sure eventually will be. Right now there's not a button one. Oh, unless it's just been added. Check that out, there's a button. It's exciting. There's new things happening all the time. Anyway, so I put it right here, and then right here there's an inner wrapper. So I'm gonna put an image here inside of the inner wrapper. So I have to add a column, and I add the section, say, okay, I wanna add an image here. So I'm adding an image, and then I can add the image. So I'm gonna click right here. And I had someone design some of the PDF little covers for me. So I'm gonna grab this one right here. I'm gonna upload that. And as it's uploading, you'll see in a few seconds now, I'm gonna have a little knee cover there. Ooh, and I can kind of change it around if it's, I want it to fit, I can change the centering, positioning. And now if they click on, oh, and I need to make a link. So if they click on that, where's it gonna go to? So I have my PDF right here. So I'm gonna grab that, paste it in, and click save. See how this works, how fun and exciting this is? All right, I'm gonna go back. I wanna show you something cool. So if I go back one level and kind of exit the editor, and if I click on this, you can see what it actually looks like. Somebody will come here when I give them the one pager, and they'll be like, oh, this is cool. And they can sit here and watch the video. So they can watch the video of my training here. They click on this, it'll open up a PDF, and they can like read the PDF along with it, which is kind of cool. Anyway, so that's what we're creating. Isn't that cool so far? Okay, I'm gonna keep going though, because I'm gonna get my entire framework in here. So I'm gonna close this, open back up the editor. Okay, secrets 1 and 2 I've gotten there. I've got 7 more secrets. I'm gonna add in secret 3. And secret 3 is pre-seduction videos. Maybe this one I'm gonna do multi-input. Let's try that. All right, see what that looks like. Okay, so here I'm gonna change the icon colors, make this one purple, because that sounds cool. Secret number 3. So first question, what could your first video be about? Okay, so they can chance to type that in there. Maybe I'll kill that. And I can say, okay, let's add a second question and a third question. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of the helpful text. Maybe you are. Okay, what could you do for video number 2? And then how about video number 3? right? So now they can go and they can actually, when they get this, start typing those things in there, okay? Now I'm gonna have secret number 4. Secret number 4, what if I do this one like a to-do list? Let's make it a to-do list because might as well. So I come back here, I'm gonna change the icon. Let's say I'm gonna make this one like baby blue because that sounds cool. All right, secret number 4. And secret number 4 here is a video spoiler box. Okay, so I'm coming here. And the video spoiler box, there are things that they can learn inside the presentation. So, or maybe, okay, so it's like, do you have a video spoiler box? Identify 4 things from inside the video, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not gonna do this, but boom, now I've got a checklist. If I save this here, and again, if I go back out, and I come back here and click here, open a new page, then now check it out. They can go type in what their information will be for each of these videos. They can just start checking off the steps. They can download the thing, and we just keep building it just like that. Okay, but that's kind of how Onepager works. It's really simple. It's really fun. It's exciting, and I want you guys just kind of start playing with this. So that's the core concepts of how it works, right? Okay, a couple things just to note. Again, let's say I put this in. I'm like, oh, I actually don't like that. I can click right here, and I can redraw it, and it gets rid of it, and I can start over again. Okay, I mess up all the time, so don't stress if you mess up. Sometimes they're looking to say, oh, I need some more room, so I need to add another row. So you can add a row really simply. Just click on that. Maybe you're like, oh, this needs to be bigger. You can drag and drop it, make it bigger. Okay, which is kind of cool. It hasn't added in the ability to delete rows and columns yet. Hopefully that comes soon. But right now it kind of works. Sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I would have like put something up above here. There's not a way to add a row up top or in the middle, unfortunately. But that's okay. All I do is I come back down here and I look at that and I say, okay, I'm just going to redraw. I'm just going to redraw all these things and just start over. You know, it doesn't take that long to redraw, start over, and then kind of rebuild out the new ones the way you want. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is just kind of play with this, have some fun. Like I'm having fun. Like I love it. Just clicking around, putting things in, saving it, trying it. But your goal today is to build out your very first one pager. And I promise you, there's gonna be a couple times you get frustrated or you get stuck. You're like, I'm not a designer. It doesn't look cool. Or oh, I want to do this thing and I have to move it here, or I got to read it. It's okay. Have some fun with it, okay? It's not gonna be flawless. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna have some issues. It's gonna be totally cool. The key is just doing it, okay? Because you gotta create your very first one. It's taking your framework out of your head and plugging it in here, okay? The other cool thing you can do as you're doing these, I put these down here as different resources. You can use this also as a way to promote other products, right? So you come in here, and let's say I wanna do, I'm gonna do a wrapper and say like, resource number 1. Okay, so if you're an affiliate for other people's products, this is a great way to make big affiliate commissions. Or if you got your own products that complement this as well. Okay, so for example, I'm saying Perfect Webinar Secrets. So a lot of you guys know Perfect Webinar Secrets is where I teach people how to actually write the webinar. So this is teach people how to show up to the webinar, right? This is how they actually write the webinar. So I'm gonna come in here. Let's see if I can find an image that I can use really quick. All right, let's just take this because it looks cool. So I can come down here and say, okay, I'm gonna add column. I'm going to add an image in here, and on this image I'm going to plug in that right there, and then again, just the way it works, it's going to be a little skewed, but I'm going to put that in there, and then I can put a link, my affiliate link, or just a direct link to my Perfect Webinar. And now this one pager is also selling for me, right? When someone comes here and clicks on a button, it's like, oh my gosh, now they've got a thing. Here, let me show you this. I'm gonna do this just so you can see what happens as it gets bigger, the image gets bigger, right? So say I save that. And again, now I give this to somebody. It shows them all the things about how to do my framework, and then there's a link there where I can go, and then boom, it sells me the next product inside of your value ladder or whatever that thing might be. Okay, so anyway, just there's unlimited ideas of ways you can use this to train people, to educate people, to move them to the next step in your funnel, a whole bunch of stuff like that. Okay, and so I want to kind of show you guys that as just something really fun. Okay, one last thing to show you, and then we'll be done for today. The last thing is the mobile order. Okay, so again, on desktop these look like a grid like this, but on mobile everything snaps together. So in mobile order, you click on this and it gives you the ability to rearrange things. Okay, so I can see like what order. So secret 1, secret 2, download PDF. I might want to have the PDF be the first thing that shows up mobilely, and then secret 1, 2, 3 below. Okay, so you can kind of change things around like that. And so that's a really easy way to shift the mobile order of things. Okay. And that's kind of it, you guys. When it's done, that's your assignment for today is create your One-Pager. Okay. So have some fun with it. Spend 10 minutes, spend an hour, spend all night. When I first started playing with One-Pager, I literally spent like 5 hours creating my very first One-Pager. And the first time was frustrating because I didn't understand it. I kept messing up. I was making all sorts of mistakes. It was actually the One-Pager that you guys got yesterday for the 5-day lead challenge. And I stressed out about it. It took me forever. And then I got good at it. And I did day 2, which is the one you're in right now. And it was like, oh, this is like a little better. And by day 3, I got awesome. I went back to day 1. I deleted it, started over because I was like, oh, I'm learning how to use this. I'm flexing this muscle. I'm getting the skill set. And so for you guys, it's the same thing. Play with it. Have some fun. Goof around. You can't do it wrong. It's just taking your frameworks out of your head and making them tangible, right? Plugging in your video right here, right? Recording your video of you teaching the strategy so they can come here, they watch the strategy, and then down here gives them a spot to take notes, have checklists, do to-dos, download links, pushing them to other parts, other products, other services you offer, and things like that. Okay, and so One-Pager is very powerful for that, and it's the best way that I know to create a lead magnet. As you can tell, let me come back here so you can see. I'm in the process of creating these for every single offer, every single product, my high-end coaching, my low-end coaching, my membership sites, my books, like everything I'm turning into One-Pagers because I think it's the best way to take this complex, stressful, confusing frameworks in your head and put it into a package where it's like, here's the framework, right? Watch the video to learn the strategy and then fill in the things in the One-Pager and boom, now you have got a tool that people can use. And so anyway, I hope you guys enjoy them half as much as I do, but your assignment for today is go and create your first One-Pager. Again, you get the first one in your account for free, so go create it, have some fun with it, and make it. And now you're going to have the tool we need for tomorrow. Because tomorrow we're creating your funnel. The funnel is going to be giving away this lead magnet. So today, make sure you focus on getting this done, and then tomorrow we'll see you guys back here. Obviously on the strategy call, I'm going to walk you through the strategy of a lead funnel, and then we'll jump in here the tactics. We actually build it inside of ClickFunnels and give this amazing lead magnet you just created away for free. Thanks again, you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next training.